dog trainer Thomas held his breath as 14 German shepherds encircled the little girl, who often lent him a hand with his chores. When she raised her hands, the dogs went wild, doing something completely unexpected. Thomas was the quintessential countryman, known in the town for his deep affection for animals, especially German shepherds. He'd always been enchanted by these noble creatures, intelligent, loyal and majestic. While some viewed the breed as aggressive due to their fierce reputation, Thomas was firmly in the camp that believed with the right training and care they could be just as playful as any other dog. Growing up, Thomas had a German shepherd named Max, his constant companion and best friend. Max's unwavering loyalty and protective nature had etched a lasting impression on Thomas's heart. He couldn't stand the thought of these dogs being seen as menacing and dedicated his life to changing that perception. One day, Thomas came across a local German shepherd rescue struggling to find a home for a puppy. Abandoned and forlorn, the little dog tugged at Thomas's heartstrings. He decided to adopt the pup, marking the beginning of his journey into training German shepherds. The puppy quickly became his faithful sidekick, sharing in his joys and struggles. Thomas devoted himself to training, channeling the pup's intelligence and eagerness into various tasks. Their bond grew stronger with every day, and the joy the dog brought into his life inspired Thomas to adopt and train more German shepherds. Thomas welcomed each new dog with open arms and an overflowing heart. He created a sanctuary where they could flourish and reach their full potential. What started as a quiet space soon became a vibrant hub for dog lovers from near and far. Over the years, Thomas's pack grew to 14, each with their own unique personality. Bella was the brave guardian, always vigilant Luna, the gentle giant with a calming aura, and Zeus, energetic and bold, a master of agility. Every dog was cherished, and Thomas loved them all dearly. But Emily wasn't alone in her affection. Next door, a warm-hearted couple lived with their lovely daughter, Emily. Emily had quickly fallen in love with Thomas's German shepherds, and her afternoons were often spent helping him care for them. Each day, as Thomas began his routine of feeding the 14 dogs, Emily would eagerly join in. She'd measure out their food with great care, her face lighting up with joy as she interacted with each dog. The German shepherds, in turn, adored her presence. They wagged their tails, licked her hands, and nuzzled against her, clearly grateful for her companionship. Over time, Emily's involvement grew. She began helping with grooming, carefully brushing their fur until it shone, and made sure their living areas were clean and cozy. She even started joining their training sessions, learning commands and techniques from Thomas. Their friendship blossomed beyond dog care. They would often share meals together, laughing and swapping stories. Though the dogs were well trained, Thomas was always cautious. He never left Emily alone with them, and her parents also advised her to be careful. Despite their concerns, Emily's love for the German shepherds was steadfast. She understood their worries but couldn't resist the pull she felt toward the dogs. One sunny afternoon, curiosity and affection got the better of her. She decided to venture closer to the dogs, despite her parents' warnings. She had promised to wait for Thomas while he went inside to fetch his camera, but her eagerness to see the dogs grew stronger. After a few minutes, she ventured to the enclosure, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and nervousness. She approached the gate, and as it creaked open, a chorus of joyful barks and playful growls greeted her. As soon as Emily stepped into the enclosure, all 14 German shepherds came bounding toward her. Unaware of any potential danger, she continued her mission with a bright smile. The dogs' tails swished through the tall grass, creating a rhythmic melody of gentle thumps. They gathered around her, their soft fur brushing against her legs and their wet noses nudging her hands. It was clear they were eagerly anticipating the food she might have brought, though there was none. Emily basked in the attention, completely absorbed in the joyful chaos. Thomas, however, stepped out and froze, his heart pounding as he saw 14 hungry dogs surrounding a small, vulnerable child. Panic surged through him, and he rushed toward the enclosure, desperate to protect his tiny neighbour. But just as he approached, Emily, with a twinkle of mischief in her eye, grabbed a handful of grass and tossed it into the air. In an instant, the German shepherds were electrified. Their ears perked up, and their eyes locked onto the floating blades of grass with intense focus. They leapt into the air, each trying to snatch the grass mid-flight with impressive agility and grace. Emily's laughter rang out, filling the air with joy as she threw more grass, and the dogs responded with exuberant jumps and playful antics. Thomas, initially anxious, couldn't help but be captivated by the scene. He pulled out his camera, eager to capture this magical moment. He watched as Emily twirled and darted around the enclosure, her small feet moving swiftly as the dogs chased her, their tongues hanging out in pure delight. The sun cast a warm, golden glow over their playful adventure, creating a picture-perfect scene straight out of a storybook. Emily, surrounded by the lively pack, throwing grass and laughing, was a sight to behold, and Thomas was thrilled to have captured it all. This heartwarming display was the perfect testament to the gentle nature of German shepherds when properly trained and socialized. After getting permission from Emily's parents, Thomas shared the video online. It quickly went viral, touching hearts around the globe. Comments poured in, filled with admiration and awe for the fearless little girl and the joyful, agile dogs. Dog lovers, parents, and adventurers alike were inspired by the beautiful interaction, and the video amassed countless likes, shares, and heartfelt messages from people far and wide. Thomas was overjoyed to see his beloved dogs celebrated for their true nature, thanks to the bravery of a little girl. From that day forward, Emily was welcome to pet and feed the dogs on her own, deepening her bond with the German shepherds. And that's our story for today. Have you ever let a child spend time alone with a pet? What would you have thought if you saw little Emily surrounded by 14 German shepherds? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.